So far in our series, we've looked at how to organize contacts and manage records in Attio. But collecting those leads is really only part of the process. What do you do once those leads are in your CRM? How do you keep them up to date? How do you manage them? How do you make sure that your team isn't stuck updating every single contact every time something happens and doing the manual outreach yourself? It's painful. That's where sequences comes in. Sequences allows you to take the time that you would have spent manually following up with those contacts and with those leads and building workflows in the sequences module in Attio so that you can reclaim that time for your team while still getting all the leverage that you need to drive your sales pipeline closer to its goals. So in this coming video, we're going to be diving into sequences and everything that's involved in getting an automated CRM set up so that you can do more with less. Let's jump into it.
Welcome back. In this video, we are going to be looking at sequences, and we've seen some of the basic features of Attio in the past. And just previously, we looked at how to create leads and also how to create lead from a lead. Firstly, what is a sequence? A sequence is a structured automated follow-up system in Attio that ensure that no lead is forgotten or missed and ensure that follow-up follows a well-defined cadence. To create a sequence in Attio, all we'll have to do is move over to the automation sections, and as you can see, we have the sequences and we also have workflows. Firstly, to create the sequence, we click on sequences here and then we'll move on to new sequence. I already have a couple of sequences created. As a result of that, I won't want to create a new sequence, but for you to follow along, just click on new sequence to create this sequence. Now, the sequence is this. We gave it a name, right? This would initially be untitled. And like I stated, sequence in Attio is used for follow-up emails in a well-structured format. So you don't have to go ahead and make use of another automated system. If you already make use of the Attio CRM, this automatically helps you achieve that, and you can do it in a well-structured system. So right here, we have a couple of follow-ups. One is immediately a contact is being added to our CRM, and the other in this scenario happens to be when after this contact is added, after 3 days, then the next message is triggered. So to achieve this, let's look at something. I can click on I would love to delete the step, but then again, to add a new step, you just click on add step to sequence. So initially you'll be prompted with this step for your automated mail. This is step one, and you specify the subject of the email you are sending, and you just go ahead and impute the values. So firstly, we are starting with hello, and we are trying to refer this message to somebody. So let's say we want values to be injected. So to achieve this is how we do it. So I'm going to take out this part now, like we have it, and you just start with the first curly brace, and you presented with this so you can specify which value you want to choose from. So now we simply click on the name, and then we want to go to full name, right? And so that is how to achieve that. So if you want other values to be passed in as well, you can simply go ahead, include your curly braces, and then you specify the part you want to have. Let's take, for example, you want to have the company they work for. If the company is attached to the people object here, let's see. Okay, we have the company, and you want to define the name. You want to add the name of the company. You can simply click on the name. So have the company name. So whatever object is attached to the people object, you can get the attribute and attach in your mail. Just depends on what you want. So that is how to go about that. Now that is the second part, which happens to be creating a new sequence in Azure. Then again, we look at the other two remaining parts on how to ensure that the whole process is being properly streamlined. So you want to ensure that there's an exit criteria for your sequence to stop sending this automated mail to the prospect or to the lead in question. So Attio already provides a way for us to do that. Firstly, there's a delivery window here. These are the settings associated with the sequence. There's a delivery window here. There's also an unsubscribe link, so that in the future you cannot send automated mail to this specific client because they've clicked on the unsubscribe link, right? And you can also turn on thread email, or you can turn it off. So turning it off, we have to specify a new subject in the next follow-up mail, but that is not the case. We don't want that. We want thread email because it's a follow-up, so we want to be able to track properly the old process of our sales pipeline. As you can see, this is a new workspace and it's called the sales group, just specifically for this particular section of the series. So I'm going to move back and turn on the threads email. So that is another setting that you can include. And we can also include sender signature. Right, so signal signature will appear here. I believe we're going to be looking at it because we're going to be sending a mail very soon. And this is our exit criteria, which is also another important factors in setting up your Attio sequence. Right, so this is it. There is a couple of exit criteria, which happens to be 2, and this is the default. The default cannot be deleted. So if I try to delete, you see this is a required exit criteria. And then when I click on add, we can add another, which happens to be meeting booked. So let's assume that we got on a call or we meet up on a different setting or a different occasion, and the meeting is booked even without the lead replying the message. In as much as you can read from our calendar, it automatically just stops the sequence for that specific lead. Take note of that. However, if our client or lead is to reply irrespective of what that reply entails, then our exit criteria is going to trigger and the sequence will be stopped for that specific lead in question. So that is for the exit criteria. The next step now is to simply go ahead and publish these changes. So you just click on publish. This has been published before, this sequence, but based on the little changes we've effected, we have to publish again if we want them to take action in the next sequence, or to take to start running based on the update. So we have to click on confirm. Now we also have a recipient already, but we can go ahead now and enroll another recipient. So let's do that. Let's add recipient. Right, so we are gonna add this, which happens to be my separate Gmail account, and I'll simply click on enroll recipient. And now that I've enrolled the recipient, so when we move over to recipient, we can see the 2 recipients we have. We have this and we have this. You can see now previously this workflow has been created and it has been executed. And we got a reply, and you can see reply received. And as a result of that, the sequence was exited for this specific contact or lead. Now for the second scenario, you can see we are waiting for 3 business days, but the first automated mail has been sent. So we can click on show full email to show the content of the email. One of the reasons why we don't have the name is because if we were to move over to the people's object, let's take a close look at people, right? And we want to search. Is a way we can search. Okay, there is none. Okay, there's no way we can search for the name right here. Okay, so I think that contact is not properly stored inside of our people's object. That is why. So we can move back to our sequence again. Click on this. I want to add a new recipient. So we are gonna come over here. I want to add development, right? As automation consulting services. And by the way, this is a Gmail account or address that you can send any of your complaints to, and we'll get back to you. So click on enroll recipients, and that is it. Now I'll quickly show you the mail that's going to be coming in. So now that I've enrolled the recipient, I'll just reload. Let's see what we have. Okay, it's sending now. That is why we haven't really seen it. And for Isaiah gmail.com, let's move over and let's open this. We want to go to the Gmail address and over to promotions. You can see welcome to the sales onboarding process. Now I'm not going to reply this. We're going to make sure that the next follow-up is being sent. Yeah, that is it. Now if you don't want to hear from me again, just click here. So this is like the your subscription button that was shown in the settings aspect of Attio for the sequences. So click on reload. Okay, it hasn't sent yet, but yeah, you just get a proper overview of how sequence can be defined in Attio. So let's quickly take a close look at the email that will be sent over to development. So you can see hello. The full name is also not available, and as a result of that, it wasn't presented here. All right, let's take a close look at this. and show full email. This is our subject, and this is hello Isaiah. Hope you are doing great. I saw that you're interested in one of our products. You have to jump on a quick call. All right. So Isaiah replied, and this exited the sequence. And so that is that for sequence. Why sequence is a powerful follow-up system in Attio in terms of automation. There are still some things lacking because most of the time we want to carry out other actions, and that is where workflows comes into play. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at workflow, and you can see that sequence is merely for automated follow-ups, while workflow is a bit generic, and we can do a lot of things with workflow. Now that setting up Attio is pretty much easy, and majority or most of our clients find it difficult when it comes to sequence and workflow. And if you are in such a situation, feel free to reach out to us for a free 30 minutes consultation call, and we can do an overview and help you set up the sequence and workflow just as we see fit for your specific firm or organization. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also share with your friends who might be interested. And until the next one, keep being your best self. Bye.